Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today is day 75 of my journey to learn Japanese. And the purpose of this series of live streams is to document my progress at learning Japanese, having started as a complete beginner. Now, my goal for today is to learn some more kanji. And so for that, we're going to be using the Lingo Command website. That's what we've got on screen here. So let's press start now. And we'll go to the Japanese vocabulary section like so. And then on the previous stream, I was learning this topic, family. So let's click here. And to just explain what we've got on screen here, we've got this table with the English words in the left column and the corresponding Japanese words in the right column. And if we want to know how these words are pronounced, we can just press here to do so.
お父さん、父、お母さん、
And you might have noticed that the Japanese is written in Romaji here, but at a click of a button, we can view this in hiragana and katakana, or even hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Now, what I want to do is I want to practice the kanji, and so I'm going to take the quiz, which basically takes that table and turns it into a series of questions where the questions are posed in English, and then I write the corresponding, or I answer with the corresponding hiragana, katakana, and kanji. But of course, I want to practice the stroke order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select handwrite answers. So I can handwrite the answers, and then I'm also going to apply random ordering. This scrambles the order in which the questions are asked to kind of keep us on our toes. So we'll press here and we get this Photoshop looking component in which we can write our answers. So if I'm not mistaken, there are two ways that you can say husband in Japanese. You have goshijin and otto. Otto is the humble form. So that's what we'll be needing here. So it's otto. And humble is basically what you'd use if you're talking about your own husband to somebody else, right? Basically, in Japanese, when you're talking about your family to someone else, you want to lower your own family, make them humble. And so you're going to be using the humble form of the word husband, otto. So I believe the kanji was 1, 2, 3, 4, with, of course, a reading of otto. So in hiragana, that would look like this. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Sokon, acting as a beat of silence before placing extra emphasis in the T in to. So this is otto. So let's submit our answer and we'll take a look here. Yeah, so this is looking pretty spot on. So we'll accept this and proceed to the next question. So older brother in Japanese, that is gonna be ani. And of course, this is the humble form of the word, older brother. And basically what you're gonna do is write this kanji. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this kanji means older brother. And it's got a reading of ani. So we'll just write that here in hiragana, ni. So we'll submit our answer. Everything is a match, fantastic. So then we're ready to proceed to the next question. So the humble version of aunt in Japanese is oba. Now if you stick a san at the end, that would be the honorific form. So if you oba-san is what you would use if you're talking about somebody else's aunt. But if you're talking about your own aunt to somebody else, use oba. And the kanji, okay, so the two. Basically, this one here means mother. And then this one here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, this basically has like, you'd use it if it's an aunt that's younger than your mother or father, whoever the sibling is, or it's just the general form for aunt. But basically, what's nice is that this kanji means mother, and so there's a bit of repetition here. It's nice that we're not having to learn new kanji for every single family member. So let's do this from left to right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And then the next kanji is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these kanji, of course, have readings, right? So I think this first one is a reading of O. And then this one has a reading of Ba. So this is Ha with Dakuten, we get Ba. So let's submit our answer. We see here that everything's a match. So it's great news. We'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So grandfather, the humble version of that is Oji. Oji. Now, the question is, basically, this is the kanji that means father. And so then there's like a kanji that's like turns it into grandfather, which is what's gonna come here on the left. And I remember that this was strokes like 5, 6, 7, but there was something here. Namely, it was this. There we go. So let's write this whole thing in order. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this means grand, I guess. And then here we're just going to write father. It's a kanji for father. And so this has a reading of O. So we'll just write that. O. But we'll clean this up. Let's make this a little bit neater. And then this has a reading of G for a total of Oji, meaning grandfather. Oh no, what am I doing? Sorry, so it's Oji-san is for the, what's it called? Oji-san is for the honorific form of grandfather, but when you do the humble form, it's actually sofu. So you'll see here that the kanji are spot on, but the readings are not. So we're going to classify this as incorrect, and that's something to remember, like moving forward. So the next question here is younger sister, humble. So that's going to be imoto, and the kanji here is 1, 2, 3. So this means woman, and then after that you need this kanji. I think it means not yet. So not yet a woman, younger sister. That kind of makes sense a little bit. So with that said, let's write the reading here. So this is going to be I, mo, to. Okay, so that's spot on. So we'll accept that and we'll proceed to the next question. So the humble form of younger brother is ototo. And this kanji is, I struggled with it in the beginning, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. Now, I just want to do this one more time. I want to get the shape a little bit better. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's better. And this has a reading of ototo. So we'll just zoom in here and we'll write o, to, to, ototo. Okay, so that's a match. That's spot on. So we'll accept that and we'll proceed to the next question. Uncle honorific is Oji-san. So here we're going to write, okay, so this is the kanji that means grand. So we don't want that. We want the one that means like the younger brother or the younger sister. Namely, we want this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on now, let's clean this up a bit more. And then we need father, right? So this is the kanji with the reading of father. or that means father. And that's everything, right? So basically, this has a reading of O. This has a reading of G. We put san here for a total of Oji-san. So we'll submit that. And we'll see that this is a match, so that's great news. We'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So wife honorific, that's going to be Oku-san, right? Now, I'm thinking that the kanji with the reading of Oku, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there actually might be this stroke over here. So could it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, with a reading of Oku. Oku. And then we put a san here in hiragana for a total of Oku-san. Oku-san. Yeah, so this is just spot on, which is great news. So accept that and we'll proceed to the next question. So older sister honorific. So that's going to be one-san. One-san. And what we'll do here is write o in hiragana. And then we're going to write the radical for woman. Let's just clean that up a bit more. Okay, there we go. So that's a radical for woman. And then we just need this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got a total of 8 strokes. Right? And then this has a reading of ne. So that's ne. And then we just need one more E here. So it's one. And then here we're just going to put san, right? As a rule of thumb, you know, for family members, if you see san at the end, it's the honorific version. Okay, so this is another match. That's fantastic. And then we'll go to mother, right? So the honorific form for mother is going to be oka-san. So what we'll do here is we'll write o, followed by ka. So here is the kanji for mother. That's 3, 4. These are a bit more slanted. 3, 4, 5. Right, this is a reading of ka. Ka. And then we'll put san. So this is oka-san. So we'll submit that and move on to the honorific version for aunt. So that's going to be oba-san. So here we're going to write this kanji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, followed by the one that means mother. We'll leave a bit of space there. That's better. And so this has a reading of o. This has a reading of ba. Here we're going to put san. for a total of obasan. Obasan.
おばさん、
So that's another match. That's great news. So we'll accept that and we'll go straight to younger brother. So the honorific way to say younger brother in Japanese is ototo san, right? So as a rule of thumb, when there's san at the end, that's the honorific form of the word. So, or it's honorific. So we just need a kanji that means younger brother, ototo. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So this has a reading of ototo. So let's write that. So this is o, this is to, put a u there, and we need one more to. So this kanji is a reading of ototo. And then here we just write in hiragana san. So younger brother, the honorific form is ototo-san. So let's submit that. And you'll see that this is a match. So that's great news. Stroke order is also a match. So we'll accept this and proceed to the next question. So daughter, the honorific form of that is no. It's ojo-san, right? Now, this one's a bit tricky. I think what you do is you start off by writing o, and then you write the kanji that means like young like lady. It's like the historic roots of this word. So I think you start off with this radical that means woman. And then the question is, what comes next? I don't quite recall. Like basically, something comes here, and then you put san, of course, in hiragana. Let's zoom in here, take a look. That was it. Okay, so basically, this is strokes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for a total of ojo-san, right? And then this has a reading of jo, so we're just going to put shi with dakuten becomes ji, followed by a half-sized yo. So this is jo, put a u there, so this is ojo-san. Hi. And of course, we took a look at the answer for that kanji, so we'll classify that as incorrect. And then we'll go to uncle, humble, right? So that's going to be oji. So that's going to be 2 kanji. The first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the next one is the kanji that basically means father. The only thing that I'm wondering here is the curvature, because I was writing them like that, but I think they might actually be like this. In any case, this has a reading of o. This has a reading of ji for a total of oji. Yeah, and okay, that does look better. So they're kind of curved like that. Those top 2 strokes in the kanji that means father. So accept this. And then we're straight on to son. So son, humble, is musuko. Musuko. Hi. And the kanji with the reading of musu is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the one with a reading of ko is that one. This is basically the child radical, and of course someone's son is someone's child, right? So it's not, to me, it kind of makes sense that that might be here. So this has a reading of musu, mu, su, ko, musuko. So yeah, that's actually all we need here. So this is a match. That's great news. And we'll proceed to the next question. So grandmother honorific, right? So that's going to be おばあさん. おばあさん. Now the question is, I think that what you do here is you write this kanji that means like basically grand. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, followed by the one that means mother. So this means grandmother, which would be sobo in the humble form. And I think that this basically has a combined reading of oba. So we'll just put that there. So it's o, and then it's ba. One more a at the end here. But I really want to put this reading in the middle. So I'm going to put this here actually. So this is o, ba, like so. And I'll put a san at the end. Okay, that's real unfortunate. So it turns out that you keep the O here in hiragana, and then this has a reading of ba. So this is not quite right. We were very close, but not quite. Younger sister, honorific, right? So this is going to be imoto-san. Imoto-san. And let's see. So the kanji that means younger sister, imoto, that's going to be, so what we're going to do is basically write the radical that means woman. To just clarify what we're doing here. So we're just writing in hiragana, katakana, kanji, younger sister in Japanese, the honorific form. Use the honorific form when you're talking, say, about someone else's younger sister. And so this kanji, or this radical here means woman. And then here you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. A viewer pointed out that this basically means not yet. So not yet a woman, younger sister, fine. So this has a reading of imoto. And those types of things can also really help you remember the kanji when you kind of have this story in your mind. So this has a reading of imoto, and then here we just need to put san. When you see san at the end, you know it's going to be honorific 9 out of 10 times. So we'll submit that. We'll see that this is a match, so that's great news. We'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So san, honorific, that's going to be 息子さん. 息子さん. So the kanji with the reading of musu is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, followed by this kanji with the reading of ko. It's the child radical, essentially. 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, here we just got to put san for a total of 息子さん. And this, of course, has a reading of mu, su, sko, 息子さん. Hi. So that's a match, so we'll accept that and we'll proceed to the next question. So older brother. So this is when you're talking about, somebody else's older brother. You'd use o ni-san. And you could also use this when you're talking directly to your older brother, or if you're talking about your older brother to another family member. But basically, when you're talking about your older brother to somebody outside of your family, you'd use the humble form, which is ani. In any case, we start off by writing the hiragana for o. And then we write the kanji for older brother. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this has a reading of ni. So we'll put that here. So this is ni. And then we'll just put one more I. And then at the end, we're just going to put san, right? So this is oni-san. So that's another match, which is great news. And we'll accept that and then proceed to grandfather honorific. So for this one, it's going to be so. No. This is oji-san. So you'll start off by writing o in hiragana, followed by this kanji that means. Actually, it might be worth checking out what the meaning of this kanji is. But I'm kind of associating as grand, right? Because this kanji here means father, and then these two kanji means grandfather. So this probably means grand. And then in case we put san here, and then here, this kanji presumably has a reading of G, and then this has a reading of I, for a total of oji-san. No, it's got a combined reading of G. We'll be super strict and say no. But what I do want to know is, what does that kanji mean? So it means grandfather in Japanese. What does it mean? Ancestor or founder. So the ancestral father is how you would say grandfather, I guess. Fine. Husband, honorific, goshujin is what that would be in Japanese. So the go is kind of easy, right? It's just hiragana. And then shu is this kanji. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then jin is that one. So this has a reading of shi, followed by half-sized yu, for a total of shu. And then this is going to be jin, goshujin. Okay, that's completely incorrect, actually. So let's just repeat this to get that muscle memory. So goshujin. So this is go. This is shu, meaning ancestor or founder. And then this is like, I think it means person. So let's just put the reading here. So this has. Oh, and by the way, this does not mean ancestor or founder, right? Because that's what we had for grandfather. And hi there, trader RYG. Let me just finish writing the hiragana for these two kanji, and then I'll answer your question. Thanks for joining the stream. So this is shi, followed by half-sized yu. And then this is jin for a total of goshujin. Awesome. Of course, we took a look at the answer because I got this kanji wrong. So we'll classify this as incorrect now. But you're asking, you've learned hiragana and katakana. What should I do next? Yeah, so there are different opinions on this, but what I'd argue is that you want to start learning some basic vocabulary, right? So, for example, you want to learn perhaps like days of the week, maybe months of the year, numbers. You'd want to learn like body parts, right? So that you can talk about an arm, a back, an ear, stuff like that. Maybe some clothing items. So you just want to kind of build your vocabulary. I think the other thing that you want to do is, you said that you've done hiragana and katakana, but just to kind of confirm, would you say that you're familiar with dakuten and handakuten? Have you learned this? Right, because this is a pretty important concept in hiragana and katakana. And then also yun combinations are pretty important. So I guess that would be yeah. So grammar is another one. But I think in the beginning, there are lots of opinions on this, but you might make some quicker progress by learning some vocabulary. And then when you're good enough where you can start reading some passages, then perhaps you can pick up the grammar. But it depends on how comfortable you are with kind of like a dry grammar explanation. Always kind of like, yes, all handakuten I learn, fantastic. Have you learned any vocabulary yet? Because when I was like designing this app, so I'm like I built this app myself with coding, and I was kind of thinking as well, like, what's the best approach? And so what I've kind of been doing so far is like kind of building this basic vocabulary. Another one that's really, really important is verbs, right? So for example, to have is motsu, to do is suru, to make is tsukuru. So these kind of like vocab lists are really useful. And one thing that I also like to do is kind of practice active recall, right? Because you can read lists like this. For N4 test for Japan. Oh, so you're studying for the N4 exam. Is that right? If so, that's amazing. So have you learned the like kind of vocabulary for the N4 exam, or so far you've just done the hiragana and katakana? Now, one thing that I noticed was I lost track of my quiz, which is a bit of a shame. I think maybe what I can do now is like move on to a different topic. So, for example, let's go with animals. And of course, as well, I think with N5 and 4, there's going to be kanji. So also you probably want to expose yourself to some kanji. But I think you kind of want to perhaps build it up in levels. Like first, perhaps try and learn the word in romaji like this. So bird is tori. And then, you know, like, because you're familiar with hiragana, you should be able to write that in hiragana. And then, you know, with enough time, you can practice like writing the, now hold on, I'm writing chicken, which is not what we want. We want bird. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, with the reading of tori. Yeah, so we'll accept that. How long have you been studying Japanese for? And how are you finding it so far? So cat is neko, and the kanji that means cat. So you write like this. It's 1, 2, 3. I read somewhere that this radical basically means beast. And of course, a cat is a, you know, type of beast, one could argue. December 3rd, 2026. Oh, wow. Best of luck with your shashiburi desu. Hi. Konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? It's indeed been a while, which is I think what sashiburi desu means. So let's submit this. That's a match. And then horse, right? So horse is uma. Yokata. I think that's like means I'm glad. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. So for horse, right, you're gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. So I think this vertical stroke here is the third stroke. And we'll just write the reading in hiragana. So this is uma. Okay. That seems to be spot on, so we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So fish, well, fish is sakana. And the kanji for fish would be, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Or is it 8, 9, 10, 11? Eight, 9. Ah, no. It's got 4 strokes. Okay, so we'll classify that as incorrect. Proceed to the next question. So rabbit in Japanese is usagi. And the kanji with a reading of usagi would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this has, of course, a reading of sa gi. Notice that I'm leaving these little gaps here for the handwritten forms of sa and gi. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that seems to be a match. So we'll accept this. Okay, so you've been studying for 2 months now, and you're confused whether you want to learn kanji first or grammar first. Yeah, so here's the thing. So I'm also learning Japanese, but I think me personally, I struggle to so you're wondering grammar first or kanji first. I don't take this like with a pinch of salt, but the approach that I'm using is not to learn individual kanji, but to learn words, right? So for example, if I open a new tab, and we go to, why don't we pick days of the week, right? So this kanji means like month or moon or like a period. I think this means like sun or time. Now that's great and all, but if you just know that these 3 kanji together means Monday, that's also one way that you can pick it up. So my approach at the moment is to basically learn individual words, learn the kanji. And of course, the other thing that's tricky is like, before you even learn the kanji, maybe it's useful to just know, okay, the reading is, getsuyobi. Getsuyobi, so practice learning in romaji first, and then start with the kanji. And the other thing that I've heard is, practicing reading Japanese is like one of the fastest ways to improve it. So spend a lot of time like trying to find basic Japanese reading material. So yeah, perhaps that way. Also, when you do reading, right, you'll notice, oh, why does it say no here? Which turns a noun into an adjective, so it can describe another noun. So you could learn that rule on its own, or you can just do some reading and then, ask DeepSeek like why it's not used here, and it will give you the relevant grammar. And then as the concepts appear over and over, hopefully you'll start to pick that up. Okay, so pig in Japanese is buta. Now the kanji for pig would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? And so here we're going to write fu, we apply dakuten to get bu. And then we put ta there. So we'll submit this. This is great. This is a match. So we'll accept that. And proceed to the next question, right? So chicken is niwatori. Niwatori. And what we'll do here, so basically this is one kanji. You're gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And you'll notice that this radical or kanji here, it's one big kanji, but this part, it means bird, tori. And so it kind of makes sense because chicken is a type of bird. So, in that sense, it's all kind of internally consistent. In any case, we'll write the reading here. So this is going to be ni wa to ri. So we'll submit that. Now you notice, the way that ri is written there, that was the typed version. This is the handwritten one. It's like two different fonts, you could argue. Now cow is yushi, right? So kanji for cow would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has a reading of yushi. So submit that. Dog is inu. But yeah, did that answer your question, Trader RYG? Let me know. So dog is inu, right? And it's gonna be, is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Inu. Yeah, there we go. And then sheep. Sheep is going to be hitsuji. Hitsuji. Now the question is, what's the kanji for sheep? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this vertical stroke is the 6th stroke for sheep. And so here we're just going to write hitsuji. Okay, so your goal is to move to Japan to live there, or just to travel? In any case, that sounds very exciting. I wish you the best of luck with your exam coming up in December. But yeah, I would say you just want to practice also a lot of reading. Okay, so that wasn't bad, 90%. Why don't we go to body parts? Let's do that. Yeah, so the app is called lingocommand.com. And I'm also the developer of the app. So as I use it, I'll make adjustments and kind of improve it. Now, I is me. And the kanji for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, of course, this has a reading of me. Let's write that a little bit more neatly. Okay, so that's a match, and we'll proceed to the next question. So finger is UB. Now, I've gotten this repeatedly wrong in the past, but I think I've got it now. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Because I heard that this radical, it can mean hand. And of course, fingers are on hands. So it kind of makes sense that that radical would be here. But let's write the reading in hiragana. So this is going to be yubi. And our kanji is a match, so that's great. And then we're on to arm, right? So arm is ude. And the kanji with the reading of for arm would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's try that again. 1, 2. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this kanji is a reading of u. This is te. We apply dakuten to get de for a total of ude.
腕、
Yeah, this is a match, so we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So stomach is onaka, and I think what you'll do here is you start off by writing o, and then you write the kanji with the reading of naka. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But of course, there's a little bit too much space here, so I think this would be a tad neater. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, this has a reading of naka, so we're just going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a match, so that's great, and we'll proceed to the next question. So foot in Japanese is ashi. The kanji for foot looks like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll just write the reading in hiragana up here. So this is a. When you write the reading above a kanji, that's called furigana, by the way. And turns out leg is just the exact same word, right? So we're just going to write ashi again. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has a reading of ashi. And then mouth, right? So mouth is kuchi. And the kanji for this is real simple. It's 1, 2, 3. And its reading is ku, chi, right? And then we're on to head. So head is atama. And this kanji is a little tricky. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, for a total of atama, atama. So let's submit our answer and take a look. That was so close. I don't like the fact that stroke 6, right? It's going in the wrong direction. Here I've got both of them going from top left to bottom right. So we'll be super strict here and classify this as incorrect, but it would definitely be recognizable. But in any case, so back is going to be se na ka. And the kanji with the reading of se would be is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? And then here it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then this kanji is a reading of se. And then this kanji is a reading of naka. The real question is, this radical here, is it actually 1, 2, 3? Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4? But I think this actually comes up in purple or green, so I'm going to leave it alone and just submit my answer. Okay, so this is spot on. We'll accept this. So back in Japanese is senaka. This is the kanji with the reading of set. This is the kanji with the reading of naka. What does that last sentence mean, Trader RYG? I'm not sure I follow along. So nose is hana, and the kanji for that in Japanese is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This has a reading of ha, na. So we'll zoom out, submit our answer, and we'll see that this kanji is indeed a match. Stroke order is also a match. So accept that. I'm going to proceed to the next question. So ear in Japanese is mimi. And the kanji for that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we'll put the reading here in Japanese. So this is going to be mi. So we'll submit that. We'll see that this is a match, so that's great. And then we're on to the last question. So hand in Japanese is te. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's got a reading of te. Yeah, we'll just about accept that. So that's not half bad, 92%. So I think we'll go on to the next topic. So let's try clothes. So skirt is skato, or we extend the vowel sound. And then let's see. So skato, you'd write that in katakana because it's a loan word, right? So when you listen to the word skato, it clearly comes from skirt, and katakana is used for loan words. I live in the UK, to answer your question. And so here we're just gonna write su, but when you say skato, the U is like barely pronounced. You hardly hear it, from what I've noticed, right? And so if you want to extend the vowel sound, you use this dash here, and then you write to for total skato. So we'll accept that, that's a match, and then we're on to the next question. So sock is kutsu, shita for total of kutsushita. How about yourself, Trader RYG? Where are you from? Oh, why am I learning Japanese? Yeah, so I've kind of always been interested in Japanese culture. I watch a lot of like anime, and I'll watch like YouTube content, and I definitely want to visit the country at some point in the future. But then also, basically, I've been building this app to help myself and other people learn foreign languages. And so Japanese was like, I've got 4 languages on here, but Japanese is the one that I'm interested in learning. So I'm learning it because I'm interested in the language, but also this way I can test my app. And then if there are any issues, I can make adjustments. So it's kind of 2 for 1, if that kind of makes sense. Now, kutsu means shoe, and shita means under. So basically, under shoe is sock in Japanese. But the question is, what's the kanji here for kutsu? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? 12, 13. Yeah, so this is the kanji that means shoe. And then this is the kanji that means under. And so this like direct translation kind of makes a lot of sense, that sock would be like undershoe. So let's just write the reading here. So this is ku, tsu, and then this is shi, ta, for a total of kutsushita, meaning sock. So let's submit our answer. Everything seems to be a match, so that's great news. So we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. I'm from Pakistan, bro. I'm currently doing a master's in IT, information technology, and I'm also an app developer. Tagoi, awesome. And I'm 21. You're 21 years old. Super cool. How are you finding the software engineering? Are you enjoying your degree? Now, underwear is shitagi. Shitagi. And so, as you might have noticed, kutsuishita at the ending, it was shita. Here is shitagi. So we actually use the same kanji here, meaning under. And then this kanji here basically just means clothes. So underclothes, underwear, right? Makes sense. And what we'll do here is write essentially the sheep radical, slightly different stroke order though, followed by this. So this means clothes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then this has a reading of shita. And then this has a reading of, so this is ki. We apply dakuten to get gi. For total, shitagi, meaning underwear. So we'll submit our answer. Everything seems to be matched, but we want to check the stroke order. And this is indeed the 4th stroke, so that's spot on. I like anime, and for better life or enjoy the life, I learn Japanese. So just for enjoyment. That's awesome. What are some of your favorite anime? Okay, so scarf in Japanese is skafu, right? So the a sound here is extended. And this is clearly skafu, sounds like scarf. So this is a loan word. So we're going to be using katakana. So this is su. And then this is ka. And then we're going to extend the vowel sound like so with this dash. And then we write fu. For total skafu, we want to submit our answer here. And we'll see that this is a match. So we can proceed to the next question. Shu is kutsu. So here we're just going to write that kanji. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, bro, I like my study of information technology. Yesterday, I'm also developed a small project on my class. Project is employee information app. Awesome. So this is for part of your course. What does the app do? Is it like so employees can put in their details? Okay, so, or even more interestingly, what tech stack did you use to build your app? Okay, so tie in Japanese is neku tai. But yeah, also feel free to try out the app and let me know, if there anything, if you do try it out, any feedback. Hopefully it's of some use. So necktie is clearly a loan word, right? So we're going to be using katakana. So this is ne, and then ku is this. Ta is that one, and then an I is this. So this is necktie, necktie. And then we're on to the next question, which is jacket. So jacket in Japanese is jacket to. And this is once again a loan word, right? But this one, it's a little bit more complicated because you start off by writing shi, then you apply dakuten to get ji. From there, you're gonna write a half-sized ya. So this is a yun combination, not ji ya, it's ja, followed by ke. And then here, it's not just to, you need sokon, right? So you're gonna write a half-sized su, followed by to. So this is not jacket to, it's jacket to. You have this pause and then you place extra emphasis in the T and to. My favorite anime are Solo Leveling, Black Clover, or AOT. For One Piece animes, I learned Japanese. Employee details in a company, and it's also an offline. Okay, so let me just submit this, and then I'll show you the app name. So, yeah. So, as you can see here, yeah, it's probably super small. It's hard to read, but I'll write it here. So ling, no, we'll do it like this. I'll put it in like font 80. Lingo, okay, that's too big, but command.com. Does that work? Are you able to see the URL? But yeah, maybe that's actually something useful where I should put like a little banner so that people can just easily see the name. I might even make a note of that. Because I thought it would be clear based on the URL, but of course that's so small, perhaps people don't see. So on stream, add a banner with the URL so people can clearly see URL. Yeah, so just please let me know if you've managed to write down the URL somewhere. If not, I can always like bring it back up. Okay, amazing. You got a screenshot. Okay, so write the katakana for trousers. So this one, it's going to be zubon. Apparently, this is a loan word. I don't have any idea from what language, but because French is pantalon, English is trousers or pants. I don't know a language where it's zubon, but it is what it is, I suppose. And then this here is ho. We apply dakuten to get bo. And then we just need an N here for a total of zubon. Oh, awesome. You do trading. That explains your YouTube handle. That's awesome. Okay, so this is zubon. And now we're on to hat. So hat is, oh no, I always get this kind of messed up. So I think this is the second kanji with the reading of shi. The question is, what's the kanji with the reading of bo? Come on, come on, come on. Could it be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, okay, so this is almost correct. But, okay, let's write the whole thing properly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the other useful thing is I remember that there was a total of 12 strokes. So when I added this stroke, which is incorrect, I knew something was off. So that can be quite useful. Now, this has a reading of ho. We apply dakuten to get bo. We put a U there for bo, shi. Let's submit our answer and take a look here. Everything seems to be a match, so we'll accept that. And then we're going to go straight on to the next question. Sweater in Japanese is seita. Now, this is clearly a loan word. It just sounds like sweater. So this is se. Hold on, let me try and write that a little bit more neatly. Se ta. Once again, using these dashes to extend the vowel sound. We'll submit that. Fantastic. And we'll proceed to the next topic. Now, colors in Japanese is kind of interesting, right? Yeah, so I used to work as a software engineer, and now I'm working full time on this app. So I've just been spending a lot of time coding, and now I'm trying to stream a bit more often so that people will start using the app as well. But yeah, my background is in software engineering. So regarding the word brown in Japanese, so you have it's chairo, but this is like as a noun. So for example, if you say I like the color brown, you'd use chairo. If you're trying to describe a tree, you'd say, or like a brown piece of wood. Now you're using brown as an adjective, and so you got to have this no here. So just kind of wanted to explain the grammar regarding that. And what we'll do here is we'll start off by, so it's I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9. And then here it's, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Followed by the hiragana character no. And there's some interesting stuff going on here. So let me just put the readings here first. So this is chi, followed by a half-sized ya. And then this is iro. But the cool thing about this is, so if I pan down, this kanji, it means tea. This kanji, it means color. And of course, for the majority of teas, tea is colored brown. So the word brown in Japanese, it's literally tea color. And then of course, this is not turning this into an adjective. So yeah, we can submit our answer. We'll see here that the kanji is matching, the readings match, everything matches, so we'll accept this. Awesome. I also use Java and database in my project. Amazing. Now, actually, by the way, if you're learning Japanese, there's one other feature that might be useful. Do you want me to? I'm happy to just continue going on with the practicing my vocab, but I can briefly mention that as well. In any case, pink in Japanese is pinku no. And of course, pinku that's just katakana, right? So we're just gonna write hi. Apply handakuten, that turns H into P. So this becomes P. This is N. That's ku. And then presumably this just remains hiragana for a total of pinku no. Pinku no. So that's a match, so we'll accept that and we'll proceed to the next question. So red in Japanese is akai. So aka is the noun, akai turns it into an adjective. And of course, there are 5 colors in Japanese where you put an I instead of the no. So that's red, black, white, blue, and yellow. So that's just something that you kind of have to rote memorize. Now, red is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then here you're just going to put an I. And then this has a reading of a, ka, for a total of akai. Kanji is a match. Our readings is a match, so everything's spot on. So accept that and proceed to the next question. So gray in Japanese is hairo no. So what we'll do here is write the kanji first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here it's just the same kanji as usual, meaning color. And then we put no in hiragana. This has a reading of, we'll zoom in here, hai. This has a reading of iro. And this one's kind of cool, right? Just like how we spoke about tea meaning, or brown meaning tea color. This first kanji, it means ash, right? And then this, of course, still means color. So ash color, right? That's clearly gray. Let's just check the stroke order here. Yeah, that's all in order. So we'll accept this and proceed to the next question. So blue in Japanese is aoi. But now I don't like to study more because many people's complete degree this in Pakistan and they're all unemployed. So I learned trading for better life and 1.5 years of experience in trading. That's smart. I think it's always good to like diversify your career options. So yeah, that's super cool. Now, why do I always mess this up? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Yeah, that's the kanji for But let's try and write this a little bit more neatly. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this kanji, right? It's got a reading of owl. And then we just put an I there. And we'll see here that the kanji is a match. Now, yeah, we'll accept that. So what is black? Black is kuroi. Kuroi. The kanji with a reading of kuro, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This vertical stroke is the 5th stroke. Yeah. So this kanji has a reading of kuro. And then we'll put an I there for a total of kuroi, meaning black. Yes. Okay, so this is indeed the 5th stroke, so we'll accept this. Oh, thank you. I've just kind of been studying on stream, practicing, but I think like one glaring weakness of my Japanese is like, so I'm learning these words, I'm learning the kanji, but like putting it all together in a sentence is something that I've still yet to learn. But what I'm hoping is by learning the kanji, by learning the vocabulary, it's going to give me a strong foundation upon which I can then learn, sentences and kind of get used to all of that. Actually, on that note, so this is something that I'm hoping to do in pretty soon, like during streams, is this is like a passage in Japanese. So let's like hide the right column because that's English just for now. So I'll just say hide middle column. But here, right, we've got Japanese in Romaji. So toshokan wa shizuka de akarui desu. So we can even like break this down at the sentence level, right? So, and we could read this, for example, in hiragana, katakana with spacing. So it's toshokan wa shizuka desu de akarui desu. So toshokan means library. Shizuka means quiet. Akarui, not sure what that means. So we can see here, okay, so the library is quiet and bright. So akarui probably means bright. So I can take a note, right, and say, okay, that this means bright. But even actually that looks a tad sloppy. So I can use the eraser tool and put a text box here and say akarui equals bright. So this is basically something that I'm hoping to do on future streams is basically practice reading this content and kind of acquire the grammar that way. Yeah, so I think like grammar is like really pivotal for Japanese. So I think that's a solid plan. Like me personally, I sometimes find it a little bit tricky to just study grammar on its own. But everyone learns in different ways. And any time that you spend studying grammar is definitely not wasted. But from what I know, there's quite a lot of grammar. And so try and like pick up the basic stuff and not go into like super advanced grammar straight away. Okay, so midori is green, and the kanji for that is 1, 2, 3. Hold on now. Let's try and write this neatly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This kanji is a reading of midori. Do. Have you learned any grammar so far? And if so, how are you finding that? Oh yeah, and of course we need to put the no, right, to turn this into an adjective. But we'll call the kanji, right? I don't know. Let's be super strict and classify this as incorrect, but whatever. Now yellow is quite tricky, right? It's kiroi. And the kanji for yellow is 1, 2, 3. No, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is the kanji with the reading of ki, and then the kanji with the reading of iro is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And so then this kanji here has a reading of ki. This is a reading of iro. Then we just need to put an I here at the end. Kiroi. That's frustrating. So I actually wrote this as what did I do? It was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wrote this as the 10th stroke, or the 9th stroke, but it's actually the 7th. So we're going to be, once again, super strict and classify this as incorrect. N4 syllabus is 400 kanji and listening test or reading. Yes, that's right. So I've had some like kind of advanced people on stream, you know, N2 or like native Japanese people, and a lot of them were saying, you know, the most useful thing you can do is practice reading, right? Now, of course, you want to read at like your target level. You know, no point reading like N2 Japanese if you can't even pass N5 yet. So that can also be very useful, which is kind of what my goal is. I want to kind of build up to being able to read N5. So I just want to improve my vocab just a bit more, and then I'm going to move on to that. So white is shiroi. The kanji for white is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just stick an I here. This, of course, is a reading of shiro, and it's a job done. Orange is orenji no. And of course, orenji, this is a loan word. So you're just going to use katakana. This is o, ren, g. And of course, if you, I don't know, have you done N5 yet? Oren. So this is shi. We apply dakuten to get ji, and then we just put a no here for a total of orenji no, orenji no. And then that finally leaves us with purple, which is murasaki no. And the kanji for purple, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then we just put a no here. This has a reading of murasaki. Mu. Ra. Sa. Ki. Okay, stroke order was spot on, so we'll accept that. Now I think, so what have we done? So we've done animals, body parts, clothes, colors. I think I might skip days of the week just for now and focus on family, right? Because this is what I've been learning recently. It's quite challenging. And so that would make for a nice goal. So I can do the reading, but if I don't know what I'm reading, then what's the point? No, exactly, right? So it's tricky because if you know no words at all, it becomes nonsensical. But, you know, what I'd argue is like, okay. So, for example, this word here, toshokan, it means library. And then shizuka means quiet. And then this one, I didn't know what it meant. So if you don't know what library means or quiet, then this whole sentence just makes no sense. You don't have enough kind of knowledge to grasp like what's going on. But now, if you know, let's say 50% of the words, then it's only a question of like learning the remaining 50, and then the whole sentence kind of makes sense, right? So for example, this is akari, meaning bright. So I learned a new word now. And so what you could do is learn a bunch of vocab, and then I guess you can just start reading with perfect knowledge straight away. Or what you can do is learn some vocab and say this is good enough, and then spend a lot of time trying to break down sentences. So for example, there's some grammar going on here as well, right? So let's change the color. So this word here, it's wa, and it's a topic marker. Topic marker. It denotes toshokan, which is the library, as the topic of the sentence. So the sentence is about the library, basically. And that's like one grammar pattern in Japanese. Basically, the wa comes after the word that it's marking as the topic of the sentence. And so, right, now we know toshokan means library, wa is this topic marker, quiet is shizuka, this is bright, des is just is, right? And so also, if you're struggling with a sentence, don't just say like, oh, I don't understand the sentence and move on. Like perhaps like try and like, you can use, for example, DeepSeek, and you can ask, what does toshokan mean? Right? And it would be like, oh, it's library. Or you can say, what is the wa particle in Japanese? So we'll give you like a grammar explanation, which says, what I was describing about the topic marker. So that way reading becomes a bit more accessible. But of course, the main thing is you want to read at an appropriate level, and you want to have some basic vocab. Otherwise, it just becomes too difficult, perhaps. But that's just my 2 cents. But I think if you only focus on vocab or only focus on grammar, the N4 or N5 exam even is going to be too difficult. You have to start reading, I think. At least that's what everyone's been telling me. They're like, you need to practice the reading, but that's quite difficult. So try and work your way up to that. Okay. So younger sister. So that's going to be imoto. And the kanji for younger sister, it's like this. It's 1, 2, 3. So this is a radical. Radicals are like subsets of kanji. And this radical means woman. And then here, you're just going to write this kanji. This one basically means not yet, as far as I know. So not yet, woman, younger sister. I guess that's the background. In any case, what we'll do here is we're going to write the reading in hiragana. So was that a little bit like useful regarding the reading? Hopefully. Okay, so we see here that our kanji is a match. Oh, but it's not actually. We're missing one stroke here. So we'll have to classify this as incorrect. We'll proceed to the next question. So grandfather, honorific, that's going to be oji-san. And we'll start off by writing o in hiragana. Then you're going to write this kanji, which means like ancestor or founder. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just want to clean this up a little bit. And then this kanji basically means father, right? So of course, ancestor plus father, that together becomes grandfather. Then we just stick son here at the end in hiragana, and then this has a combined reading of G. So you start off by writing shi, apply dakuten to get G, then you got one more I, so these two kanji together, the combined reading of G. And we'll see here that everything's a match, which is fantastic news. And then we're on to the next question. But I think also, one thing that I've heard, I think if you want to pass your N2 exam for people that don't have a background in like Chinese, for example, which has like the same kanji, it's like 2,200 hours of work. Now, I don't know how much time N4 would take, but there's no going around it that it's like hundreds upon hundreds of hours of work learning Japanese. So it's a long process. From what I understand. So older brother, humble, that's going to be ani. The kanji for older brother is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got a reading of ani, right? So let's write that in hiragana. Ni. And then we'll zoom out, submit our answer. Everything's a match. We'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So aunt, well, that's oba. Oba. And kanji for that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after that, you just want to write mother, which is this kanji. So let's try and write that neatly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this kanji here is a reading of O. So zoom in. So this O, and then here we've got ha. With dakuten, it becomes ba. For total of oba.
Oba.
Fantastic. If I already know the Urdu or English meanings of Japanese words, will it make speaking and understanding easier? I need to learn vocabulary for this. I'm not quite sure what you mean, because of course, if you look at the Japanese language, with the exception of katakana, like loan words, yeah, so for example, necktie, right? That sounds like necktie in English, a tie. Or skato, you can guess that it's skirt. So I suppose, if you didn't know any English, perhaps that would make Japanese a bit harder. But the fact of the matter is that Japanese is very far removed from English, and I think it's also quite far removed from Urdu. But of course, a lot of learning resources are available in English. So it's definitely useful to know English. Okay, so father, honorific, is otou-san. So we'll write o in hiragana, like so. And then we write father, the kanji for father, like that, which has a reading of to. Does that answer your question? Otou-san. And then we're on to husband, honorific. So that is goshujin. So here we're gonna write go in hiragana. So we start off by writing ko. We apply dakuten to get go. And then here, so this kanji, it basically means like master. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because gosujin, historically, it used to mean like the master of the house. Nowadays it's just like used as husband. And then here you're gonna write this kanji. I think it just means person. And this then has a reading of shu. So this is shi, followed by yu for a total of shu. And then this is jin, goshujin. Right, so that's spot on. Another thing, by the way, that I've found that's useful. So, you know, for example, if you're doing this reading and listening exercise, there are just a bunch of different words that seem very unrelated. The reason why I built this app like this is because here you're kind of getting a cluster of knowledge. So for example, for days of the week, you know, if you learn Monday through Sunday, at least that's now covered. So you're confident, okay, I know days of the week. Or, you know, you can practice numbers. Now, of course, numbers is a little bit nuanced in Japanese because depending on what you're counting, you pronounce it slightly differently. But take months of the year, right? So what you can do is you can, of course, say, oh, I want to learn January and February. And then you're going to move on to food items and learn water and rice. And then you're going to go to locations. And then this way, nothing's really connected in your mind. Alternatively, what you can do is you can say, you know, I'm gonna focus on one topic, master that, and then move on to the next. That's the approach that I've been using, but we'll see how much that pays off for me. So you wrote some Japanese here. Now, that kanji means hanasu, to speak. So, hanashite kurete arigatou. Hanashite, no, hanashite. Speak slower, thank you. I'm gonna guess that that's what that means. What does mean? Oh, thank you for talking to me. Okay. Oh, did I forget the word? I think. Okay, let me try and reply to that in Japanese. So we'll go to the phrases section. And we'll go to essential phrases. どういたしまして. How did I forget that? Yeah, so you're welcome. You're very welcome. But yeah, that's I think maybe. So these are all theories, right? Like what you want to do is like try it out for yourself, see what works best for you. But I think what can be very useful is kind of like learning one cluster of vocabulary instead of like darting around learning like a bunch of different stuff. So here, older sister, honorific, that's one-san. One-san. So here we're gonna write o in hiragana, followed by the kanji for older sister. So that's going to be this radical, which means woman. And then it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So this kanji means ne, or has a reading of ne. So we'll write that. So this is ne, and then this is an extra e to extend the vowel sound. So it's one, and then we'll just zoom out, create a bit more space for ourselves, and write san. So this is one-san, meaning older sister. Everything seems to be a match. Stroke order is even spot on, so we'll accept that. We'll proceed to the next question. So daughter, humble form, that's going to be musume, isn't it? Musume. Musume. So because daughter honorific is ojo-san. So I'm thinking, what, do you write this followed by? Because basically there's one kanji where it's like 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But this is the kanji that's used in ojo-san. So this is not right. What's here? Ah, okay. So let's practice that. So it's 1. Okay, this is the 4th stroke. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what? This has a reading of musume. Musume. Yeah, now of course we took a look at the answer, so we're going to classify this as incorrect. But we'll move on to the next question. So husband. Husband is oto. Oto. So for this kanji, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And this has a reading of oto. So we put soko in here, acting as a beat of silence, and then we place to. I talked to your daily, your live stream timing is 3 p.m. So I don't really know what time it is in India at the moment. Let me just quickly submit this answer. Or sorry, Pakistan, my bad. Our kanji is a match. But basically, I'm hoping to stream at 11 a.m. like UK time. So that would be like British summertime, I think. 11 a.m. BST is when I'm hoping to stream in the morning. But of course, sometimes I'm like coding, working on something in the app. Okay, let me just do one more word and then I'll read your next message. So write the kanji for younger brother. That's going to be, so younger brother is ototo. And there's no san because this is the humble form, not the honorific. So all you're going to do here is you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This kanji is a reading of ototo. To. So we'll submit that and we'll see that our kanji is a match. So that's great. We'll proceed to the next question. Now, you wrote okay, this what you wrote is a little bit beyond me, so I'm gonna put this in DeepSeek and ask it what this means. What does mean? Namae wa nan desu ka? Is that it? Write the sentence in Romaji, please. Namae wa nan? Okay, so it's casual. What's your name? Yeah, so watashi wa Kevin desu. But I think that's kind of like if I respond with watashi wa Kevin desu. Is that okay or is that wrong? Let's see. Yes, it's perfectly fine and natural. Watashi wa Kevin desu is the correct and standard way to introduce yourself in response to namae wa nan. And you said your name, you wrote it somewhere up here. Newman. So is Newman your first name? Hajimemashite. Which means like pleased to meet you. Okay, so older brother. What's that? Older brother would be Oni-san. Okay, so this time you wrote it in hiragana. Thank you. Oh, no, you didn't. There's still kanji in there. Okay. じゃあね、またいつかなたに. I think it's like you're saying, see you next time. Let's just submit this and see what does this mean. じゃあね、またいつかあなたに出会いました. See you later. I meet you again someday. The problem, tense mismatch. Okay, so DeepSeek's giving you some Japanese advice, but thank you so much for joining the stream. See you next time. I'll just move this over here so I can see it. Konnichiwa, Ken-san. O genki desu ka? Oh, demo in Japan, it's konbanwa probably. Japan local time or Tokyo local time. Yeah, so for you it's okay. Konbanwa, Ken-san. O genki desu ka? Konbanwa. Konbanwa. Hi. Okay, so today I'm practicing some more like vocabulary for family members. So older brother is Oni-san. So I think we write the O in hiragana. And then we write older brother, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I think I'm close now to getting the hang of these family members. So with a bit more practice, this should become straightforward. Oni-san. Hi, that's a match. And then we're on to grandmother humble. So that's sobo. And there's a kanji that means like ancestor or like founder, which is this one. Let's try and write this a little bit more neatly. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I just need to write mother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this has a reading of sol. And then this has a reading of ho. We apply dakuten to get bo for a total of sobo. It doesn't matter where in Japan I am. We only have one time zone. UTC +9. Arigatou gozaimasu for the information. I did not know that. Why is Japan in one time zone? Because of course it's kind of from north to south. Japan is a single time zone simply because its geographic east to west landmass is relatively narrow, spanning just over 9 degrees of longitude, meaning kyomi bukai? or fascinating. Yeah. Kyomi bukai. Oh, so what, they just say Tokyo time? And in any case, let me submit this answer. So this is sobo. And then father. Foreign maids tend to say Tokyo. I see. So you mean like they say Tokyo time, or they just say like UTC +9? So father humble, that's going to be chichi. Chichi. And the kanji for that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is chi. Chi. So we'll submit that. That's a match. Fantastic. We'll proceed to the next question. Your total live stream is 77. Please tell me which live stream you learned grammar. Yeah. So I've done quite a few streams. When you say Tokyo, folks in other prefectures might think look down. Gomen nasai. I was mistaken. I thought you once mentioned that you were in Tokyo. Because I thought many streams ago you'd mentioned that you lived in Tokyo. But if I got that wrong, I'm very sorry. Apologies about that. Because yes, I think we actually have the same in the Netherlands. So lots of people, they say Holland. But Holland is only the north and south province of North Holland. There are 10 other provinces. So we have the same thing in the Netherlands. So apologies about that. I'm living in Tokyo now, and I'm going to move to Fuji City. Fuji City. I've never heard of that. Fuji, because I know Mount Fuji. Fuji is a city in the eastern Shizuoka prefecture. Sugoi. Okay, so Tokyo is here, so it's not too far from. Anyways, I'll stop. That's super cool. But I'm glad at least that I remember that you live in Tokyo. I didn't want to assume, but I remember from a previous stream. So okay, grandmother. Oh, and to answer your question, Trader RYG. So basically, I haven't learned much grammar at all, and it's definitely not in like a specific stream. The one thing that I can say is like on the app that I've been building, I've got a small section here on grammar. So here I talk about how like Japanese grammar, if it's singular or plural, it's both the same word. So for example, one cat is neko, and then multiple cats is also neko. And then actually Ken-san, will probably be 100 hyaku times like more informed on this, but when you're talking about family, for instance, you have this uchi and soto, and then depending on that, use different words, transitive versus intransitive verbs. So there's not much grammar, but there's skoshi, a little bit, I think, of grammar. And please don't apologize for disturbing. I learned now about Fuji City. I learned that Japan is one time zone. So thank you so much, Ken-san. Grandmother honorific is Oba-san. So what we're gonna do is write O in hiragana followed by. Ba is two kanji. So I'm just gonna write this here, which means ancestor. But this radical needs to be the same vertical height as the other one, I think. I think that's a little bit better. And then here we're just gonna write mother. 4, 5. And then this has a combined reading of ba, because normally this has so and this is bo. But in this case, it's just ba. So this is ha with Dakuten is ba. So it's oba san. Hai. So this is a match. And then son is honorific, so that's gonna be musko-san. Kevin, Trader ROG saying, let's be friends, come and teach me Japanese. To Ken Black. No, I just appreciate, Ken-san coming to the stream and giving me some advice, so thank you so much. But, no pressure at all, but I thank all your advice. I'm very appreciative. Yeah, so musko would be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, hold on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then here we write this child radical. The question is, how many strokes are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or is it this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it might be that one. And so then this would have a reading of mu, su, ko, san. And we're in luck because this indeed has a 6th stroke here. The ko is correct, everything's correct, so we'll pass that and proceed to the next question. So mother, honorific. O-ka-san. So this is when you're talking about somebody else's mom, or you're talking directly to your mother to show respect. But you'd use haha if you were talking about your mom to somebody else outside of the family, I believe. So here I'm just going to write o, followed by ka. Now, that's just going to be this kanji. Four, 5, okay. And then, of course, this has a reading of ka. And this is san. For a total of oka-san. Daughter, honorific. That's going to be ojo-san. Now, I got this wrong in my previous attempt, but today's the day. So we write o, and then we're going to write this radical that means woman, followed by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This has a reading of shi with dakuten becomes ji, followed by yo. Jo, we put a u there. And then this is san for a total of ojo-san. And I think this basically means like young lady. If I recall correctly. So we'll see here that the kanji is a match. So that's great news. The furigana is a match. So accept that. Golly, this is a long list. So then we've got grandfather, sofu. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, fu. wife, humble. Tsuma. Tsuma. The question is, what's the kanji? Could it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? With a reading of tsu ma. No. Okay. That might have been okusan, actually. So let's try that one more time. So tsuma is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tsuma. Classify that's incorrect because we took a look at the answer, and that then leaves us with 8 or so questions. Uncle honorific is oji-san. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here, you're just going to write father, right? And so then this has a reading of O. This has a reading of Ji. Like so. Followed by san for a total of oji-san. So we'll submit our answer and we'll see that the furigana breakdown is correct. Everything's a match. So we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. Older sister, humble. That would be Anne. And that's going to be the radical for woman. Followed by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we can do better than that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think there's a tiniest gap here. There we go, 8. This is a reading of a. Ne. So that's looking good. So accept that. And then we're on to aunt honorific. That's going to be oba-san, right? So here we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. And then we need to write mother. Like so. Now this kanji here is a reading of O. This kanji here is a reading of ba. And then we put san for a total of oba-san. We'll see here everything's a match. So we'll accept that. I'm going to proceed to the next question. So mother, humble form, that's just haha. Haha. And we've seen the kanji for mother quite a few times now. It's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this has a reading of ha, ha, haha.
Haha.
We'll see here that our kanjis match. So accept this and we'll proceed to the next question. So wife honorific is okusan. And as for the kanji, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. With a reading of oku-san, okusan. So that is a match. Uncle, humble, oji. simple enough. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, followed by the kanji that means father. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So uncle, the humble form is oji in Japanese. So you're just gonna put 2 kanji. This basically means father. And this first kanji here is a reading of o. This kanji has a reading of ji. So we'll submit our answer and we'll see that everything's a match. So we'll accept that and proceed to the next question. So younger brother in Japanese is imoto. That's the humble form. If you want to do the honorific one, which is what we're being asked here, you put san at the end. And so the kanji with the reading of imoto, meaning younger brother, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So this has a reading of imoto. So we're going to write that here. Mo. Put a U there, and then to. So this has a reading of imoto, and then we just put san in hiragana, like so. So we'll submit our answer. Oh, I've completely lost the plot because kanji is of course spot on, but younger brother is ototo, not imoto. Imoto is younger sister. So we'll classify that as incorrect. We'll proceed to the next question. Son, humble, is musuko. Musuko. The kanji for that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next kanji is 1, 2, 3. This is the child radical. A son is someone's child. So that kind of makes sense. And then, of course, this has a reading of mu, su. This is a reading of ko. So we'll submit that. We'll see that, that's a match. So is that one. And the readings are correct. So we'll accept that. And we're on to younger sister, honorific. Okay, so that's actually what I wrote last time. So that's imoto san. But now we need to actually write the kanji for younger sister. So this is the radical that means woman. And then here it's, is it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Or is it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Okay, so mo to san. The tricky part here is the stroke order of this radical. I'm thinking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The vertical stroke is the 5th. Oh, no. Okay, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we just need to practice the stroke order there. Let's try that one more time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes sense. Now, of course, we got the stroke order wrong, so we'll classify that as incorrect. So we got 82%, so that's not half bad, so we'll accept that. And then we'll see here now we've got an 82% for the family topic. So I think that's good progress and a perfect place to conclude today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you want to support the channel, not only does that support the channel, but it also supports me in continuing to develop lingocommand.com. That's the website that we've been using today. And it also comes with an accompanying iOS app. So it's basically the exact same functionality, but on an app for iPhone as well as iPad. But in any case, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next live stream. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, arigato gozaimasu, Ken-san. See you next time. Ja ne. Thank you. Bye-bye.